Good evening, students. Hope all of you are well. Today, let me tell something about light. Moi nahot, আজি তোমালোকক মই পোহৰৰ বিষয়ে কিছু কথা কম. তোমালোকৰ মেট্ৰিক পৰীক্ষা আহি আছে. হয়তো তোমালোকক কিঞ্চিত সহায় কৰিব. তেনেহলে আহাচোন. Okay. Do you know what is light? Light is a form of energy. Light is a form of energy which produces sensation of sight. Okay, light is a form of energy which produces sensation of sight. পোহৰ এবিধ শক্তি যি বস্তুক দৃশ্যমান কৰি তোলে অৰ্থাৎ পোহৰ থাকিলেহে আমি যিকোনো বস্তু দেখা পাওঁ পোহৰৰ অভাৱত আমাৰ দৃষ্টিত একো বস্তুৱে ধৰা নপৰে Now light is a form of energy which produces sensation of sight Then what is energy Energy is the ability or capacity to do work Energy is the ability or capacity to do work. If you want to do anything, you need energy. Without energy, you cannot do any work. Okay. Then another important point you remember, energy neither be created nor be destroyed. Only we can change the form of energy. Means we can transfer energy from one form to another form. As for example, the solar radiant energy, that is light energy, it is changed or transformed to chemical energy in the process of photosynthesis and stored in the food. And we are taking that plants or plant part as food. Why? To get energy. And with that energy, we run all the chemical reactions inside our body system as well as we acquire in muscle energy to do different work. Okay? Now, when I have soason energy, mane shakti ami dhongshou koribo noaru ba ami srishtiu koribo noaru. Matto shaktik ami eta rupor pora an eta rupoloi poriborton he koribo paru. Jenekoi তোমালোকে সোason বিদ্যুৎ শক্তি আমি কি হলৈ পৰিৱৰ্তন কৰিব পাৰো পোহৰ শক্তি হয় নে নহয় বা তাপ শক্তি লৈ নহয় জানো আৰু এইটো কথা মনত ৰাখিবা that শক্তি আমি সৃষ্টিও কৰিব নোৱাৰো বা বিনাশও কৰিব নোৱাৰো মাত্ৰ শক্তিক আমি এটাৰ ওপৰৰ পৰা আন এটাৰ ওপৰলৈ পৰিৱৰ্তনহে কৰিব পাৰো Okay Now we'll discuss something about the characteristics of light আসুন আমি এতিয়া পোহৰৰ কিছুমান বৈশিষ্ট্যৰ বিষয়ে আলোচনা কৰো Have you seen light তোমালোকে পোহৰ দেখিছানে বাৰু তোমালোকে পোহৰ দেখিছা নেকি You have not seen light Light itself invisible Only it makes the object visible তোমালোকে কোনেও পোহৰ দেখা নাই পোহৰে বস্তুক দৃশ্যমান কৰে তেতিয়া আমি বস্তুবোৰহে দেখা পাওঁ পোহৰ আমি দেখা নেপাওঁ এতিয়া তোমালোকে ইয়াত লাইট জ্বলি আছে বাল্ব জ্বলি আছে নহয় জানো পোহৰ কত দেখিছা তোমালোকে কাক দেখিছা মুখ দেখিছা হেইটো পেইনটো দেখিছা বৰ্ডখন দেখিছা বস্তুবোৰহে দেখিছা পোহৰটো দেখা নাই না ইয়াতে চোৱা কি দেখিছা মোৰ হাতখনে দেখিছা পোহৰ কত দেখিছা পোহৰটো দেখা নাই নহয় জানো ঠিক আছে মই তোমালোকক দেখুৱাইছো এন্ড তাৰ কাৰণে মই লাইটটো এক মিনিট নুমুৱাব লাগিব Okay let me switch off the light for a minute I will show এতিয়া সোয়াসুন মই টৰ্চ লাইটটো জ্বলাই থৈছো টৰ্চ লাইটৰ মাথাটো তোমালোকে দেখিছা only you have seen that the upper portion of this torch light but you have not seen the light rays these are the rays coming from this bulb of the torch light and here what you have seen my hand but now you have not seen anything isn't it Now, if you want to see the path of the light, let me spray some sand here. Have you seen something? And you have seen the sand particles, but not the light. Okay, and due to this reason, the space remains dark. Because in space there is nothing. Okay, in space there is nothing. And when the light falls on any object and it is reflected by the object, and that is why this object is visible, not the light. Is it clear? Moinahat buji paisane? Light ami nedekhu. Jetia light kunuba bostu uporot pore, tetia bostutur pora light potifolito hoy. Aru potifolito hoar karone ami bostutu he dekhu. Ami light ketiao nedekhu. Okay. Now another important point. Light is colorless. Light jihetu ami nedekhu. Gotike lightor boron ase ne? Boron nai. Light is colorless, but it is composed of 7 colors. And these 7 colors together form a colorless ray of light. Okay, let me show this also. I think all of you have seen prism. And this is prism. Okay, this one is prism. And when the light passes through a prism, the light is split up into its 7 component colors. Okay? Ekhon hol prism. Prismor মাজেৰে যেতিয়া ৰশ্মি হৰকি যায় তেতিয়া ৰশ্মি 7টা কালাৰত বিভক্ত হৈ পৰে. And this is called dispersion. And as a result of dispersion, a band or patch of color of light is formed. That is called spectrum. Okay, let me show this. Soa moinahat, ekhon prism. A prism khonor মাজেৰে যেতিয়া মই লাইট পাৰ হৈ যাবলৈ দিও কি ফৰ্ম হৈছে আমি ৰামধেনুত যিকিটা 7টা ৰং দেখো এই 7টা ৰং আমি দেখিবলৈ পাইছো এই 7টা ৰং একেলগে মিলি বৰণহীন হৈ থাকে is it I think it is clear to all of you. Okay, light itself colorless, but it is composed of 7 colors. When a ray of light is allowed to pass through a prism, this ray of light is split up into its 7 component colors. Okay, and ultimately when these colors are allowed to fall on a skin, and it will form a band or patch of color, and that is called spectrum. Okay, now please let me switch on the bulb. So, what we can say, first of all, light itself invisible. Okay, but it makes the objects visible. Is it clear? Light itself invisible, but it makes the object visible. Am I right? Then secondly, you see, already I have mentioned that light is colorless. Light is colorless. Okay, but it is composed of 7 colors, and that colors are seen in rainbow. Is it clear? Light is colorless, but it is composed of 7 colors. When a ray of light is allowed to pass through a prism, and this is the prism, when a ray of light is allowed to pass through a prism, then the ray of light splits up into its 7 component colors. Buji paisa na moinahat? Puhor বৰণহীন কিন্তু এডাল পোহৰ ৰশ্মি যেতিয়া প্ৰিজম এখনৰ মাজেৰে পাৰ হৈ যাবলৈ দিয়া হয় তেতিয়া এই পোহৰ ৰশ্মি কি হয় 7টা ৰঙত বিভক্ত হৈ পৰে আৰু যিকিটা ৰং আমি ক'ত দেখো ৰামধেনুত দেখো Okay, Then again, light always travel in straight line. Okay, light always travels in straight line. Okay, now eto suasun moinahot light hodai ki hoy puhor horol rekhat goti kore aru hebabe ami ki pau sa pau. As light is traveling in a straight line, so it forms shadow if anything comes in its path. Etia suasun e dastatur sa eta paisune ami kyo? Why this shadow is formed? When the duster is placed in the path of light, then the shadow of duster is formed. Why? Because when duster is placed in the path of light, then some rays of light is obstructed. As a result, in this portion, there is no rays of light. Okay. If light able to travel in any direction in curved path also, then after striking on the duster, the light ray will bend this way and again it will pass. And there will be no chance for formation of shadow. Moinahot buji paisane? Pohor ohar batot jodi ami jikono eta bostu rakhu, tetia hole ami tar ki pau? Sa pau. Kyo? Karon he bostutue pohor rosmi kisuman badha di diye. বাধা দি দিয়াৰ কাৰণে বস্তুটোৰ পাছফালে পোহৰ নাযায় পোহৰ নজোৱাৰ কাৰণে বস্তুটোৰ ছাঁ হয় বুজি পালা নহয় okay so you remember another point that light travels in straight line. Okay, light travels in straight line. Is it clear? And another most important point you have to remember that although we consider light as a ray, but it travels in the form of wave. Puhor hodai torongor dore goti kore. And this wave is known as electromagnetic wave. So you can remember that light is electromagnetic wave. Clear? Okay. And another important point, when the light falls on any object, sometimes light reflect, sometimes light refract, and sometimes light absorb. It entirely depends upon the nature of the object. মইনাহত বুজি পাইছানে যেতিয়া পোহৰ কোনোবা এটা বস্তুৰ ওপৰত পৰে তেতিয়া বস্তুটোৰ গুণাগুণৰ ওপৰত নিৰ্ভৰ কৰি লাইট প্ৰতিফলিত হ'বনে প্ৰতিহৰিত হ'বনে নে বস্তুটোৱে শুহি ল'ব সেইটো নিৰ্ধাৰিত হয় okay as for example when the light falls on the mirror now you see when the light falls on the mirror and the maximum amount of light is bounced back means maximum amount of light is reflected. Okay, and but when the light falls on any glass, it is also to malage. A glass or mother horokisha na nai pohor. Glass or mother go a boat kono porisha nai pohor. Porise means here light is transmitted through this glass. And this type of objects are known as transparent object. Okay, the object through which light can pass easily are known as transparent object. As for example, water, glass. বুজি পাইছানে মইনাহত যেতিয়া লাইট কোনো এটা বস্তুৰ মাজেৰে সহজতে পাৰ হৈ যাব পাৰে তেনেকুৱা বস্তুক আমি কি বুলি কওঁ স্বচ্ছ পদাৰ্থ বুলি কওঁ আৰু স্বচ্ছ পদাৰ্থৰ মাজেৰে সৰহ সংখ্যক পৰিমাণৰ লাইট বা পোহৰ পাৰ হৈ যাব পাৰে আচ্ছা আৰু এনেকুৱা কিছুমান পদাৰ্থ আছে যিবিলাকৰ মাজেৰে আংশিক পৰিমাণেহে পোহৰ পাৰ হৈ যাব পাৰে there are some other objects through which a part of light can pass and this type of objects are known as translucent As for example, you have seen colored glass. Through the colored glass, whole amount of light cannot pass. Only a part of light can pass. Wax paper, tissue paper, through these things, only a part of light can pass. And this type of objects are known as translucent objects. Is it clear? Now, whenever light falls on translucent object, then what happened to it? Some amount of light pass through the object, some amount of light bounce back from the object, and some amount of light is absorbed by the object. Okay. Now, as for example, you can do one thing. You place one mirror and any object outside under the sunlight. What will happen? After some time, it become hot. But the mirror, it will not hot. Why? Because whenever light will fall on the mirror and the maximum amount of light will reflect from the mirror. But whenever light will fall on this object, maximum amount of light will be absorbed by the object. Only little amount of light will be reflected by the object. Okay. Now this is another important point you have to remember, that when light falls on any object, depending upon the nature of the object, light may be reflect, light may be refract, and the light may be absorbed. Okay, it will entirely depends upon the nature of the object. Clear? Now, another important point you see, so there are so many natural phenomena like formation of rainbow, twinkling of stars, and formation of mirage, formation of looming. Okay, and all this, and why the blue color of the sky, and evening and morning the suns become bigger and red, isn't it? And these are some natural phenomena, and all these natural phenomena are occurs due to the different properties of light, mainly due to reflection and refraction and the different colors of the light. Okay, that another important point. Some energy need medium to transfer from one part to another part. As for example, sound energy. Sound energy need any media to travel from one part to another part. If it is vacuum, means there is nothing, then we cannot talk. Means if I telling something, it will not reach to the person if there is nothing in between the person and me. Okay, but for the traveling of light from one part to another part, medium is not required. Although it can travel through medium, but without medium also, light can travel from one part to another part. বুজি পাইছানে মইনাহত যিকোনো এটা শক্তি এঠাইৰ পৰা আন ঠাইলৈ যাবৰ কাৰণে কি হয় এটা মাধ্যমৰ প্ৰয়োজন হয় কিন্তু লাইট শক্তি এঠাইৰ পৰা আন ঠাইলৈ যাবৰ কাৰণে কোনো মাধ্যমৰ প্ৰয়োজন নহয় অৱশ্যে এই মাধ্যমৰ মাজেৰেও যাব পাৰে কিন্তু কেনেকুৱা মাধ্যমৰ মাজেৰে যাব পাৰে মই অলৰেডি কলো যিবিলাক স্বচ্ছ যিবিলাক তোমাৰ অস্বচ্ছ ইয়াৰ মাজেৰে লাইট পাৰ হৈ যাব নোৱাৰে নহয় জানো আচ্ছা এতিয়া কথা হল কি বিভিন্ন মাধ্যমৰ মাজেৰে যেতিয়া লাইট যায় লাইটৰ বেগৰ পৰিৱৰ্তন হয় সকলো মাধ্যমতে লাইটৰ বেগ একে নাথাকে when light travels through different medium the velocity of light changes is it clear means the velocity of light is not same in all medium the velocity of light is maximum in vacuum, means in empty space. It is almost 3 lakh kilometers per second. In glass, the velocity of light is almost 2 lakh kilometers per second. And in water, it is almost 2.25 lakh kilometers per second. Huisane moinahot? Puhoror beg hokolutkoi besi hunno thait. Tak jak koa hoy vacuum boli. শূন্য ঠাইত পোহৰৰ বেগ সকলোতকৈ বেছি প্ৰায় 3 লাখ কিলোমিটাৰ প্ৰতি ছেকেণ্ডত আৰু গ্লাছত ইয়াৰ পোহৰৰ বেগ হয় প্ৰায় 2 লাখ কিলোমিটাৰ প্ৰতি ছেকেণ্ডত আৰু পানীত হয় প্ৰায় 2.25 কিলোমিটাৰ প্ৰতি ছেকেণ্ডত এটা বুজি পাইছা নহয় তাৰ মানে কি হ'ল লাইট কোনো মাধ্যম নোহোৱাকেও যাব পাৰে আৰু মাধ্যমৰ মাজেৰেও যাব পাৰে যেতিয়া মাধ্যমৰ মাজেৰে পোহৰ যাবলগীয়া হয় তেতিয়া পোহৰৰ বেগ কি হৈ যায় কমি যায় ওকে আৰু শূন্য ঠাইত পোহৰৰ বেগ সকলোতকৈ বেছি প্ৰায় 3 লাখ কিলোমিটাৰ প্ৰতি ছেকেণ্ড ইজ ইট ক্লিয়াৰ okay now come to another important point that is reflection of light reflection of light আমি বস্তুবোৰ কিয় দেখা পাওঁ বস্তুবোৰত যেতিয়া পোহৰ পৰে বস্তুবোৰৰ পৰা পোহৰ উভতি আহি আমাৰ চকুত সোমায় তেতিয়াহে আমি বস্তুটো দেখা পাওঁ এতিয়া যদি মই লাইটটো অফ কৰি দিওঁ তোমালোকেতো একো নেদেখা কিয় নেদেখা কাৰণ এতিয়া মুখ দেখি আছা কিয় দেখিছা কাৰণ এই বাল্বৰ পৰা লাইট আহি মোৰ গাত পৰিছে মোৰ গাৰ পৰা উপৰি গৈ তোমালোকৰ চকুত সোমাইছে নহয় জানো সেই কাৰণে তোমালোকে মুখ দেখা পাইছা ইয়াত থকা বস্তুবোৰ দেখা পাইছা যেতিয়া মই লাইটটো অফ কৰি দিয়া যাব তেতিয়া পোহৰ নাথাকিব আৰু পোহৰ নাথাকিলে কোনো বস্তুৰ পৰাই পোহৰ ৰশ্মি প্ৰতিফলিত হৈ আমাৰ দৃষ্টিত ধৰা নপৰে বুজি পাইছা and whenever light falls on any object the light is bounced back from the object and enter into our eye and at that time only we able to see the object otherwise nothing will be visible to us okay now the bouncing back of light after falling or after striking on an object is called reflection of light okay now you see the light is falling on the board and again from the board it is bounced back okay and enters into our eyes that is why this board is visible to us but the reflection of light always follows two laws and you have to remember these two laws and by obeying these two laws there is reflection okay now as for example you imagine a surface of an object say mirror say this is the mirror okay now you consider one ray of light suppose I am considering this is one ray of light okay and the ray of light which is coming from any source and fall on any object is called incident ray and this is called incident ray okay and you know the perpendicular and you draw a perpendicular at the point of incidence to the surface and this is called normal okay clear and this angle is called angle of incidence this is called angle of incidence this angle is called angle of incidence angle of incidence means the angle formed by the incident ray with the normal is called incident angle or angle of incidence okay and the law according to law of reflection of light the angle of incidence is always equal to the angle of reflection so again you think about the same amount of angle in this side now this is reflected ray and this is called angle of reflection and this is reflected ray okay this is one law of reflection the incident ray the normal and the reflected ray all the lie on the same plane could you follow the point all the lie on the same plane the incident ray the normal and the angle of and the reflected ray all lie on the same plane. Okay, to understand these things, what is plane? Here, how many planes? There are 6 planes. This is one plane, this is another plane, this one is another plane, this one is another plane. Okay, clear? Means, if one ray of incident is one ray is coming, that is incident ray, if it is falling this way, it will not go that way or this way. Okay, if it go this way, and this one will be another plane. Now we are talking about this plane. This is one plane. Okay, if ray of incident is coming this way, and reflected ray will go this way, and normal will be here. Means all will be in this plane. Is it clear? So, মই now এইটো প্ৰতিফলনৰ এটা সূত্ৰ যে আপতিত ৰশ্মি লম্ব আৰু প্ৰতিফলিত ৰশ্মি একেখন সমতলত থাকে। বুজি পাইছানে? The আপতিত ৰশ্মি, that is incident ray, the লম্ব means the normal at the point of incident, and reflected ray means প্ৰতিফলিত ৰশ্মি সকলোবোৰ একেখন সমতলত থাকে। এনেকৈ যদি ইনসিডেন্ট ৰে ডাল আহিছে, এনেকৈ রিফ্লেক্টেড রে ডাল না যাব, কিয় এইখন এখন প্লেন আৰু এইখন এখন বেলেগ প্লেন হৈ যাব। বুজি পাইছা নে? গটিকে প্লেন কি হ'ব লাগিব? একেখন প্লেনতে ৰে ডাল যদি এনেকৈ আহিছে, এনেকৈয়ে যাব, আৰু লম্বডাল ইয়াত এনেকৈয়ে থাকিব। তেতিয়াহে ইহঁত সকলো একেখন প্লেনত থকা হ'ব, নহলে একেখন সমতলৰ বাহিৰ হৈ যাব। যদি এফালে আহিবলৈ হয়, এখন এখন বেলেগ সমতল, এখন এখন সমতল, এখন এখন সমতল। Okay, is it clear to all of you that the incident ray normal at the point of incident and the reflected ray all lie on the same plane? Okay, and another law, that is the angle of incident, আপতন কোণ, is always equal to the angle of reflection, that is প্রতিফলিত কোণ. Okay, and you have to remember these two laws, and the reflection of light always follows or always obeys these two laws. Okay.